Hello, Bannock folks. Welcome back to our channel here. How you doing? Today is a great day. Better Lovers have dropped their debut album, Highly Irresponsible. We had to get together and listen to this, and thankfully, because they're such nice guys, we got an advance copy, so we're listening to it a couple days early. We feel very, very blessed. It's sick. It's very sick to have a band that we love that much send us an advance copy of the record so that we could get it covered early. So if you haven't heard Highly Irresponsible, we're not going to be playing the album in full, but we will be giving our thoughts on each song. So I highly recommend head over to Spotify or YouTube or whatever you use to listen to music, listen to the album, come back, or listen to each song as we go in segments. Do whatever you want. Get creative. We are so excited to get to do this because I don't think we've ever actually sat here and listened to an album together like this. I think this is our first time getting to do something like this.
This is super exciting, and I gotta admit, I've been avoiding all of the singles and stuff since this record's been rolling out. We did the reaction to the one single off this record earlier this year, and actually, to be entirely honest, that was the first and last time I had listened to that track, because I like listening to things in the context of a record. So I'm super excited to be getting into this. And obviously, this is super cool that you and I can kind of like listen to a record together.
If you like this type of thing, let us know, and maybe we'll do other videos like this where we listen to a record and break down every song. Let us know. Please let us know what you want us to do, because we just throw S-word. I don't know. Is it too early to swear? We just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. So if you like this type of video, please let us know in the comments. So this is going to be our authentic first listen to each of these songs. We're going to listen to them together, and then we're going to talk in between each track, let you know what we thought. And then I'm sure at the end, we'll just give some final thoughts on that. I'm really excited to do this. I say we jump into it.
Let's go.
Holy fuck.
Holy shit, dude. Oh my God.
That's a really good song. We got so excited I forgot to intro that song. That song was Lie Between the Lines. Man,
Holy cow.
Every Time I Die has always been so good at making an entrance with their tracks, and I like how this one doesn't even necessarily feel like an intro song. It's just, this is what you're gonna hear on this album. Like, It is a perfect tone setter. That clean beginning, I think there was like slide guitar in there. It sounded like a siren. Holy
it's
shit.
Terrific. Jordan is such a master at his guitar work. Like, you know, his previous work, you can always point out all sorts of different examples of really like it's that Charlie Day meme where he's like pointing at the wall and he's all like doing like the conspiracy. That's how he writes his riffs. It's crazy. And obviously that's going to blend into this music because this is his music that he's writing as well. But like when we jumped into that solo there, this was like the most unconventional solo, but it was like it fit perfectly. So it was conventional in that way, but like the way that it drew itself was very unconventional sounding, but it was also very like I felt like sticking my tongue out a lot of the time. I probably did, honestly. And then I really liked Greg's unhinged vocals at the end there. They were getting really like, it's nice to hear these unhinged vocals like this outside of deathcore, because, you know, I like my deathcore here and there, but I'm pretty particular with it.
That one high vocal at the end, I wasn't even sure if it was him or a very quick guest, because that was like in such a higher register that we've heard from him in so long.
Oh, so
he's
good.
Also such a master of doing those like bridges with just the one repeated like set of lyrics over and over and over again. It just feels so menacing when he's doing it. I've heard two of the songs off here before this one, White Horse, which we covered. Go check out our video. And I did listen to Future Myopia, and all of these songs so far, spoiler, sorry. All of these songs so far have had like a almost like alt rock grungy 90s hook on them, but they don't feel like they fit into the pockets of the song so well. It never feels like the hook is a place where like a sick breakdown or two-step could be. It's all fitting together so well. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like this is just like It sounds hungry. Like, this sounds like when a band first comes out and they just feel like they have so much to prove.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you could tell they're eager. Do you want to jump into track 2? Your Misplaced Self?
Your Misplaced Self. Let's do it.
Lead you away from your true self. We all are playlist from where I stand. Come on, shit, I'll hold your hand. We all are guilty from where I stand.
Whoa!
Oh my fucking man.
That was a cool song.
Yeah, it's just short to the point. That felt to me instrumentally like something we would have gotten off like X Lives. Like, oh my god, that one like transitional lyric part where he's like, "To lead you always from your true self." Like, another unhinged solo in this one too. I wonder if that's a Will Putney thing. I wish we could get Jordan. If you guys are watching, I wish you guys, because you're watching, would come on the show. You and Will, Jordan, you and Will, and me and Phil try to guess who wrote what riff. I feel like that'd be so much fun.
We don't want an interview. We just want to play a small little game. It'll only take about maybe half hour of your time. Just get on a call. We just want to play this game where we guess, are these Jordan riffs or are these Will riffs?
I would love to do that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I got to point out, Goose, the drummer of this band, has such a wild story for himself. He played in the Fear in the March of Flames, Fear Before the March of Flames, which was a great band. But if you're asking me, I don't think they got the love that they deserved. They were really great. And then he joins. Yeah, that self-titled record is amazing. And then he joins ETID, and only about a year and a couple of years later, they break up, and then like. I just feel like he's always just like picking up all these pieces. But honestly, Goose's drumming is so perfect for Jordan's writing. And that's part of the reason why I like ETID's last record so much, was because the drums and the guitars were just married. And again, this track 2, this is proving to be the case. It's just, that was fun. That was just like a... that was like a
biker
song.
Fucking like a biker anthem. That two-step ass Metallica, or that Metallica two-step part, and then like even Greg does like a not like a Headfield sounding voice, but like the tonality on it, just like it sounded like we went into an alternate dimension where Metallica was writing crazy good like music right now. Like, oh my god. That was sick. That was so sick and to the point. I love that. That was so good. Let's take a spin of a white horse covered in blood. Refresh our memories. Oh man, I love that song. I've listened to it a bunch since we've recorded our recorded our reaction, which go back and check it out if you want our in-depth thoughts on this, but we'll still give some thoughts here. What I realized on this listen is this song kind of sounds like the Dillinger Escape Plan song Setting Fire to Sleeping Giants mixed with the Every Time I Die song Decaying with the Boys. Like, it sounds like you took both ideas and smashed them together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
that like that one riff, the like, and then like the again that repeating bridge thing he does, which he did really well in Setting Fire to Sleeping Giants.
That's right,
man. And that repeating part almost sounds like something you'd pluck out of like a Nine Inch Nails song. Like, it's so menacing, it's so simple and evil sounding.
Yeah, Greg is really good, and this song is a perfect example where he takes a string of lyrics and he can repeat them in a different cadence, doing different stuff with his vocals, and because the riff has changed, it sounds entirely new. He does it a couple different times. He says the same lyrics, but he's doing it at a different part in the song, and he's doing a different cadence. It's really cool. He's really good at doing that.
It's a heavy song, obviously, all things considered, and I know that there's at least one more melodramatic moment on here from what I've heard, which I'm excited to hear when we get to it. But this song is very accessible. You You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This is like a song that like you could play for someone who isn't into like mathy heavy shit. And I think they'd waggle the knee a little, bob the head a little, you know?
Yeah, sure. Coworker.
Yeah, this could be coworker music. Next song is Future Myopia. I have to confess, I have heard this song before, but I'm very excited to get your take on this song. And I'll see if you can decode what I mean, but especially because I know you're an Alice in Chains fan.
Decoding with the boys.
Oh, you cling to that which is gone. Ignore the warnings you never saw. As if you'd rather be found dead before being wrong. You should be praying to fall.
Oh, it's bananas. The rhythm section, and I don't that it's techie in this. I mean, it's techie because like there's also a lot of notes being played, but it's the real techiness in this song is like the timing feels all over the place. Like it. Oh my god, it's such a organized mess. It's so crazy. Like,
Yeah. And I'm just gonna echo what I said earlier, just but really quickly. Those drums in that weird, awkward, like off-timing breakdown, I feel like most drummers wouldn't know what to do, and somehow Goose is just in that pocket, man. Like again, but I was following the lyrics with this track, and Tyler, I know I said it with the when we did the reaction, but it's hard not to think that these lyrics are about someone specifically. I don't even want to mention who, but like it's hard to shake that, especially with this song. Like the lyrics are really hammering that point home that you threw something all away and now you want to try something new and you want your flowers, but you threw out the seeds, and it's hard not to think that. I'm just saying. I can't be the only one thinking this. And I don't want to keep thinking this because I imagine there's even a part in that song where he's like, "You tried reaching out, but nah, I'm good." Like, come on.
And the interesting thing about that lyric is it lacks a level of poeticness that like Greg typically brings to his lyrics. Like it feels so blunt compared to the way he normally writes. Like it's, to discuss a little bit more of the actual music aspect of the song too. I love how much Jordan uses natural harmonics versus pinch harmonics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this song uses them so well. That Alice in Chains ass hook, like it's so Alice in Chains coded, it's crazy. And then that corn ass bridge, that spooky ass bridge with like the pick scraping in the back and the bass just sounds like sludgy and enormous. Like, and yeah, that breakdown at the end, like it's like you can't even like bang your head to it properly. Like it is they have invented a time signature or something. Like it is so hard. It feels like you can't grasp what's happening in the song at the end of it. It's God. Song,
which is
so
cool because like yeah, sure, ETID did that a lot of times, but a lot of the times it played it safe. There's some tracks where they obviously get a little weird with it, but I don't feel like we've ever seen Jordan get this mathy.
Yeah, no, this is crazy. Like, and it's, if you were listening to this and you didn't really dial in, you might not hear how many times like a riff that's been playing for two measures suddenly at the end of it just has this crazy run out of nowhere, or like the stop and starts in this. Like it's like, God, this is a dialed in song. Like rehearsing this must be a nightmare. Like, oh man, we have finally covered all the music that I've heard on here, so everything is going to be new to my little ear holes, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited right now. What's the next one called?
The next tune we have is called "Deliver Us from Life." Oh, cool. I like the abrupt ending.
Yeah, this is very different than anything we've ever heard these guys write before. Both Better Lovers and just like Every Time I Die an extension. They've had a couple more low-key songs. That one on X Lives comes to mind, where in the video he's like pushing the wheelchair. I love that song actually. And like it remembers a little bit. Revival Mode, yeah. But this is more like oh my God, how would I describe this? Like a Deftones influenced 80s metal song that's like oh my god, like it's so weird. You hear this like 80s metal influence in there, but it feels more like a heavy hard rock song, I guess. And the thing that really stood out to me on here is like the lead work just throughout the whole song. Like that solo is like straight up emotional. That's like an emotive solo. And then the way the leads sort of continue after that, like this is bananas. This is bananas. And I was actually expecting this one to be more low key because the first four had so much energy to it. So I was expecting a lower moment, and this was more interesting than I could have imagined. So
this was super cool. This is a track that we have to tell every listener to. This is the track on the record that's going to make you say the things that we're saying right now. Like what you said, revival mode. What's the one? The Thing with Feathers off of Radical comes to mind. The one with the one track with Andy from Manchester Orchestra, and like some Dillinger has done some of the softer stuff before, but like again, I don't know if we've ever reached an area like this. Like I feel like there's still been boundaries pushed. I actually found to this kind of be like a lot of what you said was correct, and I agree with. I actually was hearing like. It reminded me sonically, but not entirely because there's a big difference. But I was getting like hymn vibes. And the reason why I was getting hymn vibes, let me explain myself, is because hymn has all these like detuned riffs that kind of just riff out. And then you've got this like beautiful voice over top. That was the juxtaposition that Greg and Jordan and Will and the entire band were giving me with that track. It was like very like that chorus was very like rock. But it was detuned, and then you had this like angelic like singing over it. He got really high, like some singing. I don't know if we've ever necessarily heard. Like he got into a pocket there where like it sounded like he was pushing himself. It was very like a high registry. This was super cool. This is the track. Huge. I was getting goosebumps. This was like it was very emotive. Wow. And we needed that breath of fresh air because you're right. We were fucking running and we were running with those 4 tracks. We were fucking banging our heads. And now we've got like this airy kind of like, now we can kind of like, this is really delivering us to life.
Wake me up. Oh, you said deliver. It's not bring me to life. It's an Evanescence joke, Phil.
It was supposed to be the. Yeah, no, it's good. We're good. How many tracks we got left here?
We are on 6 out of 10.
Cool. All right.
The next track is called Drowning in a Burning World. So this one's either going to be super heavy or super emotional. Maybe both. They love those outros, eh?
Yeah.
Like where they just speed it up again at the end. Man, the lead work on this reminds me so much of what they were doing on Partying Is Such Sweet Sorrow. Like the just like whatever like that key is like.
Yeah. Planet Shit actually is the one track that comes to mind because this actually sounds almost exactly the same. But this is the track where they were like, okay, we got this. We did this track. This is the track where we're just gonna fucking break our brains with riffs. Like there was just
I think it's my favorite track so far.
Yeah, that sounded super complex. A lot of the things that they were doing. It was actually really hard to hone in on one thing that was happening in there. It just fucking felt like everybody in the band was just fucking juggling chainsaws.
Dialed it to 11. Yeah, everyone like, man, the delivery on the "Look at Us, we're rotten" is like so fucking menacing sounding. Man, if Keith is a man of many eyes, then Greg is a man of many mouths. What I mean by that is he has so many different vocal tones that he can just pick and choose from at a moment's notice. Like he's one of the only guys who can sound cool doing like an evil talking voice. You know what I mean? Like it sounds sick. And dude, that ending breakdown, I mean, it's at this point that feels like classic Better Lovers at this point, because they did that a lot on the EP, like that stop and just in. And then when Greg comes in vocally, dude, that's what 18 Visions sounds like to people who like 18 Visions, including me. Like, that's why we love that band. That like type of vocal over just totally detuned guitars. Like, God damn it. That was so good.
Next up, we have track 7, which is called Everything Was Put Here For Me.
Everything was put here for me. We won't be given what we wanted. We're surely given what we fucking need. And now the only way we're headed is down. But that's impossible for us to see. So impossible for us to see.
Man, the final vocal on there. Oh my God. Man, the bass fills in these songs that, again, if you're not dialed in, maybe you don't notice, but like that guy just like, he's doing a lot. Like, he's not just following the guitars and the kick. Like, he is like, there's constantly these like, there's happening all over. Man, the bridge on here, man, they're really good at writing bridges. Like, this is better bridges. Like, they are writing better bridges. It sounds like at the end, he's literally losing control of his own voice. Like, not even that he's like losing it. Like, it's become a sentient thing that he has no control over anymore. Like, it just spirals into this plasmic scream at the end. And then the layering of his vocals on the mosh riff directly after is perfect. Like, it's, oh my God. Oh, and so many vocalists in metalcore bands use that like choppy, like, noise, and he just actually does it instead, and it sounded sick. It sounded so sick. This is gasoline soaked and southern fried. This was sick. This is a great song. This is a song that they gotta play at every show. Like, oh man, the energy this song captures is nuts.
Interesting you say that, because I actually found that this was probably my least favorite track on the record.
I think it's my least favorite track too, but I think that the energy this song has is just gonna pop.
It's big. To say that it's still really, it's great in the sense of like all the set of the tracks. We are obviously taking each song and kind of putting them under a microscope, and they are doing some cool things. Greg is doing some really cool things with his vocals. I mean, we're obviously getting some really cool guitar work as well. But like, I just this is not a bad song. I have to stress that. But I just feel like the stuff that I was getting out of this song, I got more out of a couple of the other tracks there. And like, we're heading near the end of the record. Not a bad song. I just didn't like it as much as some of the other ones going on.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I do think it is, like I was saying before, my least. What's up?
The next track name.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'll get into my feelings on that, actually. But yeah, no, I do think this is my least favorite track on the album so far. But I think that a song like this is going to pop live in a way that'll really matter. And I don't think, again, it's not a bad song. It isn't hitting you with 1,000 dynamics in 3 minutes. This is a more straight, for another band, this would be their technical song. And This is their most straightforward cookie cutter song. So like, it's amazing that when you hear a song like this, you're like, oh, this is kind of dialed back for them. Like that's kind of wild in the greater context of music. So
yeah.
Yeah. So the next song is called Superman Died Paralyzed, which is pretty crazy. That's a pretty crazy thing to name a song.
And here we are in 2024, rolling our eyes at Eminem making Chris. What was his name? Come on, I can't think of his name right now.
Name? Marshall Mathers.
No. The guy who played Superman,
Christopher Reeves.
Here we are in 2024, and we've got Eminem coming out with records making fun of Christopher Reeves, and we're all kind of rolling our eyes at it. But Better Lovers puts out a song called Superman Died Paralyzed, and for some reason it's funnier than any other lyric Eminem has ever said about Christopher Reeves.
Who knows? Maybe lyrically it all makes sense.
The worst of us inherit Earth. The exhaust begins to burn. So let the worst of us inherit Earth.
Okay, well, I really liked that one.
Yeah. I take back what I said earlier about track 6 being the brain breaker. That was a brain breaker. That was just, And it was very like existential, very kind of like anti-humanity, just kind of being like, this sucks.
Yeah, the vibe I got was almost like the song's about like a fear of death, but also like making sure that you like value how you spend your time. It could be a metaphor for addiction. Potentially. There's definitely seems to be a little bit of pessimism about the human race in general, but like it felt like a song that was more about like making sure that you use your limited time here in like a way that's like not toxic. I think, like, I don't know, man. You know what I do know? That the leads in this song sound like haunted UFOs.
What the hell was going on there? Yeah, Jesus, that was bananas.
It sounds like
sounding
the guitar tricks that like a band like Emure really popularized. You know what I mean? Where like you pitch up a dissonant riff so it just sounds impossibly high. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Man, this song and that pummeling riff, dude. They haven't played a riff like that since they've started, where it was just the constant chug and like the super weighty kicks. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. When you don't hear much of that on an album, when it finally hits, you're like, it's like you're on like a roller coaster, like about to go down. You're like, holy fuck. Like
that was a good song. And I think obviously I'm drawing conclusions here, that the song title doesn't have really anything to do with the song. However, he had a lyric in there that just made me chuckle. It was crippled by our fear. And then
I'm sure. Well, because like, I don't know. I guess I'd have to look into Christopher Reeves, but I do think the song has to do with it. I just don't know if I can decode it really in one listen. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I feel it. I do think it's intentioned. I don't think, because the thing is, it's not even like shocking. You know what I mean? Like if anything is overplayed, it's like we lived through an era where like people just made tons of Christopher Reeve jokes for no real reason. You know what I mean? It's like just a dude who got paralyzed and they're like, you fucking idiot. Like, so I don't think that's what they're doing, but maybe I'm wrong. Come on the show. We'll guess your riffs and ask Greg about the Superman song. Bring Greg. I'd like to meet him. All right. So next up, we have the song At All Times. From what I understand, this is... Oh, I can't tell because I'm using the downloaded file. So you've added much needed context for me. From what I understand, this song is like the ballady one. People were saying this one's going to be like maybe a little beautiful. It might get a little beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, like a power ballad.
That was my favorite song. That was so good.
So cool. It's going to be so cool live to be able to have so many ferocious songs and then such a beautiful like moment like that. This song sounds to me like what the band Atreyu thought they sounded like when they started making more accessible music. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like what Atreyu wanted to sound like so bad. It just never really worked out for them. The lead guitars in this. Go ahead.
No. The lead guitars.
The lead guitars elevate the song so much. They have truly unique sounding solos.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Like this is, and the bass gets to shine so much on a track like this. Get to hear every note, every little fill. Chimey guitars like that, that sort of chiming with the reverb always reminds me of Christmas. You know what it is? That just like, it sort of reminds me of like jingle bells, like ching, 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 ching sound. Yeah. That was a beautiful track.
Oh my God. That was admittedly the first track where I kind of actually I didn't pay attention to any of the vocals. I didn't pay attention to any of the lyrics there. I was just really soaked in the song there. Holy cow. That was like a Metallica song and like a Guns N' Roses song, but better lovers.
It did. You know what? It is kind of their November Rain.
That was like a November rain. Dude, that was like a November. That's not even a joke, honestly.
No, honestly.
That was their November Rain. That was such a good song. Holy
damn.
Frig. We're far into this record. Or fuck. That was so good. That was my favorite track. I love ballads like that. I love when bands do that. Those are always my favorite tracks. Like, I think it's Hickory Creek on that friggin' Whitechapel's record, The Valley. That one just is my favorite track because it's all cleans. The Thing with Feathers on friggin' Radical is one of my favorite tracks just because I love when a band really throws a curveball at you. And like, that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. We have one track left.
We have one track left, Phil, and there's a music video for it. So guess what, brother? As a sweet little treat for us, we're going to watch the music video together rather than just listen to the audio. Let's get the whole experience.
All right, yeah, let's do that. Hell yeah.
This
has been great.
This song is called... This has been so fun. I honestly hope our audience is into this type of thing because I would love to like just sit down, listen to a record with you, and then give our genuine first impressions on the whole thing right away versus like listening to something, preparing notes, and then sometimes it can feel like you're just reading notes and you're like, I don't even remember what I'm talking about right now, but I know I knew what I was talking about when I wrote this. All right, let's get into this.
Try to disgrace me, but you can't face me. Never hear when the picture me loud, and all that's in mine. Roll backwards and die. No one has it today without tomorrow. Hitting the heart as a face in our world now. Turns us into slaves. To love a love way, all become one.
Okay, sorry, I said we weren't going to do this, but I think it deserves it. I think we have to just kind of talk about this for a minute and do like, I guess we are showing the whole video. Fuck it. I'll edit more if it means we're going to show people this potentially. If someone might see this because of our video who wasn't going to otherwise, I need them to see this. This video is fucking bananas. This is so good. It's funny, but it feels really messed up too. And the song is so ferocious. And then, dude, that transition with like the TikTok bomb sort of thing going on, like this is absurdly good.
This is bananas is the perfect word. This is bananas.
Better bananas.
Survive if love has become an act of rebellion. How can we survive? Oh, how can we survive? How can we survive if love has become an act of rebellion?
That was a beautiful way to end the record.
That's my favorite song on the album, Phil.
He also did the thing where he plays a
That was crazy.
riff like repeatedly at the end of the song. And so if you ever see them live, he might just do that for a half
20
hour.
minutes. Yeah, now he can just, you know, that's so intentional.
Yeah, totally.
So you can just play it forever. He can just literally, man, and in that video, he's playing a blue SG. I didn't even know they made those. Like, I didn't know it came in that color. Like, I was like, what the fuck? It's, man, that video is, the woman is like, as soon as the woman the first time set herself on fire, I was like, oh, what's going on? And then the video is just I have no idea what they were trying to say in that video. That was such an assault on the senses.
I thought this was a really cool song. And then they always do the frog. They've got frog.
They brought him back, yeah.
It's in their merch. I don't know what it is. I love it. They've got frogs. It's not even just in the music videos. There's frogs all over, and like the artwork for the singles were frogs and stuff. They're high on frogs, brother. They're looking toad.
Yeah, it was, and I like how they bring such a colorful vibe to something so off-putting and bizarre. Like,
yeah,
like to just have this colorful like frog dude standing there. Like, again, like the hyper use of like color, but then like super muting them with the lighting in the video. The song is absolutely absurd. It ends beautifully. You're totally right that Jordan's going to use it as an excuse to play it for 30 minutes. And we're here for it. We're absolutely here for it.
This exceeded this is album of the year list. This is on the top 10 list that it's going on. I don't know if we're making a video, but I always like to compile an album of the year list, and this is definitely on there. I can't wait to listen to this record more and more, especially on a drive. I really can't wait to like dive in and like just soak into this record now that I've kind of been able to dissect it, and really, like what I've said earlier in our video here, we're really taking these songs and putting them under a microscope, and we have the lyrics in front of us, and we have everything drawn.
And it's our first time hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
this has been really cool. I'm super excited that we got to do this. Thank you, Tyler, for sharing this experience with me. This was really an epic moment. Like, I could call it an epic moment. This is the first record from Better Lovers. We're just exceeded my expectations, and damn, it's a shame that they're never gonna play friggin' New Brunswick anytime soon.
They might.
Better Lovers.
Also, we'll see if we can get a word in now that their PR team knows who we are.
On top of doing a game show with us and getting
We need
Greg
the game
involved.
show. What was Greg gonna do? Oh, Superman. We want to ask him about Christopher Reeves.
That's right. On top of that, we're also requesting you to come to New Brunswick, a very out of the nowhere place for a band to play. Actually, it's funny. ETID played like the smallest venue here, like during low teens, because during low teens they did a tour with Knock Loose, and they specifically hit a bunch of rural areas. Like they hit Timmins, Ontario.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they came to New Brunswick. They came to Fredericton, and Josh and I mean, we've never met anyone who went to that, but like it's about the size of my garage, that venue. You can only imagine how packed that was.
That must have been sick. That must have been so sick.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to give the folks a little outro?
All right, folks, there you have it. That was our reaction to Better Lovers' Highly Irresponsible. That was the record. That was it, folks. I can't believe it's gone already. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go back and watch it. And that way, we'll get more views. But on top of that, you can give this video a like if you especially liked it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We do all sorts of music reviews. We're covering reactions. We're starting back into the podcast again. All sorts of fun stuff happen on the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you get all our updates. If you are a producer in any way, shape, or form, whether you're doing it in your bedroom, basement, or in a massive studio, check out a program called Lander. We are affiliates of Lander. You can see it in our description in the bio there. Click that, and it gives you a little bit of a discount code. So yeah, if you're into that, definitely check it out. They've got all sorts of tools to make your music sound super rad. All right, Tyler, let's take us out of here.
Goodbye. I didn't have anything planned.
Listen up for you.